Hey there everybody, Kevin here from the My Song of the Day Rock 2002 Today YouTube channel, wishing you a very happy new year because today we are going to be previewing the year in music that will be 2019. Okay, so how's this video going to go? We're going to take a look at the music that is already announced and teased that's going to come out in 2019. We're going to tell you what we expect to be big, what we expect to maybe flop, and what we expect from music in 2019, rock music that is, what could be big, preview the big news, give our predictions. Maybe we'll see what happens. Enough with that. Let's get started. Okay, so for the new albums that we know the names of, know their release dates, and know they're going to be coming, are all coming in January of 2019. So keep out an eye out, keep a lookout next couple of weeks. For Taking Back Sunday with their 20th anniversary album labeled 20. We have Papa Roach with Who Do You Trust coming later in the month, and middle of the month we have Bring Me the Horizon dropping Ammo. Now let's take a look at all of these. When we talk about 20 by Taking Back Sunday, we already have their lead single all ready to go. That is actually the name of their lead single. I listened to it. It was enjoyable at points. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but that's just my taste. And then I decided to look through the listing of the songs that are going to be on the album. And it's going to be a big experiment for Taking Back Sunday because it looked like the first half was a greatest hits album. You had Cute Without the E on there. You had Make Damn Sure, which is fine. But you're going to be mixing new music with the past. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I think a lot of casual listeners, a lot of one-off listeners are going to be like, oh, it's partial greatest hits, partial new stuff. This will really bridge the gap into bringing in new Taking Back Sunday fans. But in talking with people on Twitter, some people are very, and I mean very concerned about this album because of that fact, and they don't think Taking Back Sunday has put out as good of content or as good of music as they have in the past. And it might be a letdown for them. I hope it's not, but we'll see what happens. Second is Who Do You Trust by Papa Roach, and I've listened to the four singles that they've already released off of the record, and it does sound like they're mixing what Fear was in 2015 and Crooked Teeth was in 2017. They're trying to mix them together, which I'm going to be very interested in. I'm very interested to hear it, and because the songs that they already released have set the tone for the album. But it is a concern of mine. I think I'm actually going to be pretty underwhelmed by this album, mostly because when I listened to Crooked Teeth back in 2017, I was actually pretty into it. I did like Fear, but mixing the two together, it just, I don't know. It seems like they may be putting out a lot of records in a short time span, and there might be some fatigue in there. I hope not, because I do enjoy Papa Roach. I will be seeing them again, maybe for the second time, I believe. Yes, second time in March, so we'll see what happens. And then third, and I think this is the one I'm most anticipating in January, is Bring Me the Horizon with Ammo. Mantra being released in August of 2018. I love the song. I was like, yeah, let's go. And then they released Wonderful Life. I believe that was in October. And then 2 singles off of this album so far, and I've liked them both. I've liked Mantra more than Wonderful Life, but I have really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to Ammo. I'm looking to see what Bring Me the Horizon really puts out there, and I am very interested to do an album review. Yes, an album review on this album. So let's hope it's good. Okay, so thanks to our friends at Loudwire.com. I took a look at their list of anticipated albums, the ones that have been teased or new music has potentially been brought up and to come out, but really haven't had anything further than that. Nothing more than, just a Facebook post, Instagram post, Twitter post. Bammer saying, yeah, we're working on new music, potential new album in 2019. Some of these I've seen online as well. But we're going to go into the speculation albums, the ones that we're expecting to come out in 2019, or the bands are expecting to come out with new music in 2019. I've got a good amount of them. I'm only going to really go through the 5 I'm really jacked up for or really concerned about, but I will give you guys other names of bands and musicians that are planning on coming out with new music in 2019 as been teased. I'm going to have to take a quick look to see what we have here. So let's see what we have for ones that we're not going to go into because it'll be a 20-minute video or 30-minute video of me just gabbing on about this. So for bands that have teased new music coming out in 2019 that we're not really going to go into and talk about, we have Alter Bridge with Mark Tremonti, which I'm actually going to be pretty curious to hear about. Asking Alexandria came out with an album in 2017, which their self-titled album, pretty damn good. But I'm concerned once again. Deftones, I do like punk rock. big influence on Rise Against with the Deftones, so I'm going to be listening to that. Evanescence, their first album since 2011. We'll see if that layoff or that long gap really proves some kind of rust. Killswitch Engage, again, I'm starting to get a little bit more of that metal scene a little bit because of these videos, because of this app, because of our social media content, doing this for you guys. So I'm interested to hear them as well. And I did see them in concert once back in 2015. Lamb of God, because, again, they're a big metal band. Interested to see what happens there. Of Mice and Men, getting a little bit more into metalcore, and I do like Of Mice and Men. And going for the more popular, more surfy vibe, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Those are a few that we have some speculation on, but we're not necessarily going to go into them deep dive. Now we're going to go into about 5 that I'm going to really deep dive in with speculation, and let's see what you guys think. So first, on the album speculation that we're going to do a deep dive into is Avenged Sevenfold. We're looking for a release of them in 2019. Their last full album release was The Stage in 2016. So that 3-year gap does seem about right. But the biggest concern I have is towards the end of 2018, they did release a 4 or 5 song EP called Black Rain. I did listen to it. I enjoyed it. That's not my concern of what the music is going to be, is if this album actually comes out because of that EP. I have seen other bands like Hollywood Undead last year in 2017, even though I'm shooting this in 2018. 2017, they came out with their 5th album labeled 5. Then they came out with an EP at the end of this year called Psalms. Now, again, a band could easily just come out with a quick EP and then drop an album the next year or pretty quickly after that. I'm just not sure what Avenged Sevenfold is going to really do with this. I hope we get a new album, and I really hope it's similar to what Hail to the King was, because I really liked Hail to the King, and just bring it back, because this is one of the most popular acts in metal today, maybe the most popular act in metal, and I'm really curious to see what they do with the new album if it comes out in 2019. But if not, then we're looking hard on them on 2020. Second, I'm looking at one of my favorite bands, Chevelle. They have not come out with a new album since The North Corridor dropped in 2016. I'm saying full featured release, because in 2018, in October, they did release 12 Bloody Spies, which is their B-side and rarities track. I'm not going to go deep into that one because I did do our first album review on 12 Bloody Spies. I do like Sleepwalking Elite as a song. Not the biggest fan of the rest of the album, but I have to give it some slack because of B-side and rarities. So I'm looking for a new album from Chevelle this year, but my biggest concern with it is, again, like Avenged Sevenfold, they came out with a new album this year, or a new EP that really kind of wasn't new music, or very little new music. So I'm hoping Chevelle comes out with something. I get to see him in concert again, and I hope they follow up The North Corridor well, because The North Corridor was a pretty good album in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to it, guys. So hopefully Chevelle comes out with something, but if not, then look for them in early 2020. Thanks, Adam Gontier on Instagram. We have been confirmed that Saint Asonia will be coming out with Saint Asonia 2 in fall of 2019, and I am pumped for this album because we did do a band review on Saint Asonia in 2018 where I did talk about Saint Asonia, how I like them, how I like Adam Gontier. I love his sound and how it's transitioned over from his 3 Days Grace Days to Saint Asonia. But there is a concern when it comes to the album, actually 2 major concerns when it comes to this album that I gotta talk about. My biggest concern is the fact that we first heard about Saint Asonia 2 being worked on as early as February 2017. We are into January 2019 now. We're almost 2 years beyond that, and we're just hearing from as early as December 2018 that we're getting new music from them in 2019. We heard it earlier that Saint Asonia 2 is being worked on in 2017. What's going on here? Was it just because, again, this is considered a supergroup? Were the schedules not aligning right to record? Or were there problems in actually making the music? That's where I get really disappointed, because that huge layoff there and that huge time frame between first teasing and confirming is almost 2 years. I'm really concerned with this one, and I'm really trying to reserve being too excited for this one because I feel like it's going to be a huge disappointment, basically due to the fact that we, again, have this long layoff, we have this long teasing, and I just am concerned that there are, instead of bad scheduling or times when you can't really get together, I'm more concerned with the fact that they're just artistic differences and it's just not working right, and we're not going to get that classic Adam Gontier sound, which is dearly missed in music. I'm really hoping we get a great follow-up to the original Saint Asonia album, but I gotta pull back on this one, guys. I gotta pull back. Fourth, we have Skillet. Now, on Twitter and on Instagram, Skillet did confirm that they were going to be working on a new album and new music was going to be coming out in 2019, following their releases of Unleashed in 2016 and Rise in 2013. And this might be the album out of all of these that I have the highest hopes for and I'm the most stoked on, basically, because they've been putting out good music over their last two albums, actually their last three in my opinion. And it just keeps working. These panheads out there have to be getting super excited for this. And again, as am I. I will be seeing them perform live in March of 2019. They will be with Breaking Benjamin and Under Oath. And let me tell you, I cannot wait for that show. It's going to be awesome. I will be doing a YouTube video reviewing that show maybe, or just talking about it, because when you get those three bands together, I can't help but not make a YouTube video about it. Come on. So that's going to be that week's. But again, that's in March. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm hoping that they do some new music during that show. Maybe that they haven't released yet. So then I can talk to you guys, give you a little teaser, but I'm not going to actually play it for you. Just give you a quick little teaser. Fifth, we have Slipknot. Slipknot has teased and announced they will be doing a new album in 2019, and I am excited for this one because it'll be their first since 2014. In October of 2018, they did release the single All Out Life, and it looks like Slipknot has not missed a beat. It looks like they're still in sync after all those years. Corey Taylor's vocals still sound great with Slipknot, as they do with Stone Sour, so you can't really knock them for that. I hope that that album does use All Out Life as its lead single, and we get one towards the end of the year, maybe around October-ish from Slipknot. And it doesn't sound like they're going to miss a beat, so I am excited for this one, and I don't think that 5-year layoff is really going to affect them all that much. Alright, I got one more as a special for you guys, because this album has been, at this point, 13 years in the making. Their last album, 10,000 Days, came out in 2006, and thank God they didn't make us wait 10,000 days for this one. More like 4,500. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about Tool. They have teased a new album for 2019, and I know a lot of people are stoked about this. I was currently at the mall, actually, helping my little cousin Christmas shop a couple weeks back, and I went into this music store, and we were talking about music with some of the guys, and someone brought up Tool, and they were really excited for it. And I wanted to share that excitement with them, I really did. But I do have to pull back as well, mostly because that long layoff. That layoff is 13 years. I really can't get excited for it as much because I'm not that big into Tool as other people, but I can't wait for this album to get released because I'm looking forward to it. I really am. But again, when you're looking at that long of a layoff, is that sound going to be different? The world in 2006 was a lot different than the world is in 2019. There's a lot of things that happen in between there. Is that going to affect their music, or are they going to bring that great Tool sound back? And then the other question is, are we actually getting an album in 2019? Are we going to have to wait till 2020? Are we actually going to get one ever? I don't know. But then again, we'll see what happens. Let's hope for a new Tool album, and if it is confirmed and the Wednesday after it comes out, come right back here for an album review on it because, of course, we're doing it. Now getting into the wide world of music, there was one announcement that just happened that really got me giddy as a couple of my friends sent it to me, and I'm excited for this. I'm wearing my Camp Mars shirt from 2018 this year, basically as a precursor or reference to this, and it is Mars Island, which is going to be their European version of Camp Mars. That's going to be on an island just outside of Croatia in 2019, and when I first saw the video, I was just blown away by the fact that they're going to do one in Europe, and it's going to be on a frickin' island. Now, I know in my last video, I did bash their last album pretty hard because it just wasn't what I liked, but I do like 30 Seconds to Mars. I do like Jared Leto. Talking to him, he reminds me of my best friend, and it is great, and I want to see my friends again that were at Camp Mars in 2018. Shout out to the quote-unquote Coke problem kids, as we called ourselves, because our friend Sarah loves Coca-Cola and would always have one, and we were trying to figure out a name for a little Facebook chat group, and that's what we came up with, and it was awesome. So I had to just throw that in there, guys. What's up if you guys are watching this video? But I'm super excited to try and make sure I make this trip because This is going to be, that could be a trip of a lifetime right there. I thought the original one was, but this is just even better. Can't wait, guys. Hope to see you guys there. Overall in music, for the rock music, metalcore, metal, post-hardcore stuff that I listen to, I'm pretty excited for 2019, despite the fact that I think only 2 out of my favorite bands have teased a release for 2019. 2017, 2018, a lot of my favorite bands came out with albums, so this is kind of like that off year, I guess. But I'm still excited to listen to it. When it comes to rock music overall in the spectrum versus pop music, I don't think we're breaking the barrier anytime soon. It's just there's a huge disconnect between the popular audience and what real rock music is. When you think of popular rock music, I was talking to some people about this, and people were talking about, oh, you like rock music. So this is what they were playing for me to try and, get me in the mood and get me to have fun with them playing rock music. I got Coldplay. Now, I'm not the biggest Coldplay fan. I got Imagine Dragons, and I did do a whole video on did Imagine Dragons sell out? Again, the answer was yes. Go watch for the reasons why. And Maroon 5. Now, I highly doubt that we're going to ever break this barrier again as rock music fans. I think the rock music is going to be more of like the genre that people don't really have a big thing to deal with. You got pop music, and you got country music over here, and then you got rock music. It's just the subsect that's just not going to break that pop barrier like country has. I thought that there might be a chance for a band to come in to kind of maybe bridge that gap a little bit, a band like Greta Van Fleet, but when it came to the real popular audiences, their music didn't really latch on the way I thought it was going to. So when it comes to bands like Rise Against, Hollywood Undead, Skillet, I think we brought Avenged Sevenfold, Chevelle, I just don't think those bands, Architects even, I mean, that's a much different sound, but still, I don't think those bands are really going to break the mold, and I think that rock music is just going to not really be paid attention to like the masses. I think they should, but again, that's just my opinion. I know people have different ideas of what they like in music, what they dislike in music. That's your own opinion. But I just don't think that, again, rock music is going to break that barrier unless if someone has this absolutely insane song that just goes nuts. I got one last thing I really want to talk about, and this is coming up in the beginning of February, and that is the Super Bowl halftime show. We've known since September that the band that was announced, or the artist that was announced for the Super Bowl halftime show was Maroon 5, or should I just say the Adam Levine Experience. When I saw this, I think the rock community and pop culture were pissed. Mostly because, we'll talk about this in 2 secs. We'll talk about the pop culture and for the pop culture, the game is being played in Atlanta. Maroon 5 really doesn't have a lot going on for it right now. Outside of, they're pretty, pop rock, vanilla pop, that kind of stuff. So they might appeal to a good crowd, but they're having the game in Atlanta. Atlanta is a huge hotbed right now for hip-hop and rap, and there's a lot of Atlanta artists out there that they could really, mesh with the city a lot well, kind of like what they did with the the history of Motown or something like that when they did that for a Super Bowl halftime show. They could have done that, but, they really didn't do that. The NFL decided not to. They went with Maroon 5. There's a lot of people who are not wanting to play with Maroon 5 on the show, and I don't think Maroon 5 is going to do that good of a job. Now, when it comes to the rock community, this was a chance for a rock band or rock musician to really come in, play the Super Bowl halftime show, and really maybe start bridging that gap like I talked about once again. And Maroon 5 is only going to distance that gap because people are going to think that's rock music, which it's pop rock. It's not that good, in my opinion at least. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think it's that good. I think it's very watered down and very just overproduced. It doesn't have that genuine feel to it. I've been saying this for years. If they want to get a show like Prince did over Super Bowl 41 was that in Jacksonville or Miami? No, that was in Miami. When Prince had a show in Super Bowl 51 in Miami, or 41 in Miami, everyone loved it. So could they get a rock band to maybe do a show like that where it's not going to be all overproduced like Justin Timberlake's was, or, go as theatric as Lady Gaga's was. I'm not bashing Lady Gaga. She actually put on a good show for a Super Bowl halftime show. But if they want a band or a rock band that can really bridge that gap between rock music and pop music, who better than the Foo Fighters? The Foo Fighters are loved by a lot of people, myself included. They're in my top 5 bands that I love to listen to, and my top 5 favorites, top 5 all time even. They're up there. They're in there. The fans love them. Both popular culture knows who Dave Grohl is. They know the Foo Fighters. Rock fans, everyone's pretty much in consensus. It's like you might not be the biggest fan of the Foo Fighters, but when you hear the Foo Fighters, you're like, hell yeah, this is good stuff. Why didn't you put them on there, NFL? Why didn't you put them on there? This would have been a great opportunity to take rock music and put it back into the forefront. And not let people get pissed, because the Foo Fighters would have brought in other acts and maybe add to it a little bit, or do maybe what Prince did and just play some of their own stuff and then just play some other stuff that's popular. Because even when Prince did it, he did do a little rendition of "The Best of You" by the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl could easily pull something like that off. Why didn't you do it, NFL? You blew it on this one, and this Super Bowl halftime show is going to be a mess, and I cannot wait to do a video on it for you guys. I might do 2 videos that week. I might do something, what we've been normally doing and adding into it, and secondly, I'll do a Super Bowl halftime show review, and I'll probably just go, bah! Alrighty, that's it for me. Thank you for watching the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today 2019 year preview for rock music. If you like this video, dislike this video, want to comment below about how we did, what you like, what you dislike, what you agree with, what you disagree with, or just want to yell at us or praise us or ask us a question, do that below. I will look at your comments and I will respond to them. If you want to keep up to date with us, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon, because then you'll be subscribed to us and notified every time we put out a new video every Wednesday, or if we do a special one. If you're not following us on social media like Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, then what are you waiting for? We put out a shit ton of great content there. I want you guys to view it. I want you guys to pay attention to it. I want to have conversation with you guys, and we do a lot of that stuff there. So please, 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 please follow us. I've got links in the description below, as long with my personal Twitter, because maybe, you want to follow my personal Twitter, get my takes on some other stuff too, or you want to talk to me personally. Lastly, and most importantly, if you have an Amazon Alexa, if you got one for Christmas, if you're looking to add a new skill to your skill set, add the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today Alexa skill. You can do that by clicking on the link in the description below on your phone. It'll open up the Alexa app and ask you to enable the skill. You can enable it. Or you can say, hey Alexa, enable My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today Alexa skill. Then it's on your skill set. And if you want to listen to it, say, hey Alexa, play My Song of the Day. And Alexa will play the song that we've selected every single day. You can listen to it as many times as you want. You can listen to it in the morning, when you wake up, at lunchtime, before a workout, right before you go to bed. I don't mind when you listen. You can listen to it all day, as many times as you want. And then the next day, you get a brand new song. So we keep it fresh, keep it fun, and keep providing you guys with a great experience. So if you can please enable that on your device and listen to it as much as you want, I would be very appreciative of it. And then that's it for me. Thank you for watching. This is Kevin from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 Today Alexa Skill YouTube channel. And as always, see ya!